As I said, you're all looking magnificent. Good to have you all. We have several. Actually, we have two. Yeah. So we have like two separate groups worth. So we have on the right, we have Jason and Brian, who are just in my Monster of the Week campaign. On the left, we have Aaron and Steve, who are in my Urban Shadows campaign together. And of course, Steve has been in almost everything else I've done. So Steve is kind of the Scott's Case Files veteran. There should be like a pin for that or something.
He's the hub.
He's the hub of Scott's Case Files. That's good. That's fair.
As long as you keep paying me, I'm okay.
Yeah. I'm not paying him. I don't.
So it's actually what? Steve's Case Files?
He owns stock. Let's just put it that way. All right, let's get this kicked off. Hi, I'm Scott's Case Files, and welcome to my channel. We're doing session 0 of Cyberpunk Red tonight. Just literally got our PDFs on last Saturday. The physical game is going to be in theory, it's at the stores now. But there were some shipping issues that were talked about, so your hardcover should be available at your friendly local gaming store soon. Anyway. So session 0, as I was talking about just a second ago, hopefully picked up by Twitch, we have some all veteran Scott's Case Files gamers here. Let's introduce everybody. Start with Brian up here. Why don't you tell me tell us your name, a little about yourself if you want, and what you played on Scott's Case Files.
Hello, everyone. You thought you were rid of me so soon, but I'm back. Well, we could say I'm the wild card that Scott has just picked up, and I will not leave him alone now. I played good old lovable Charles in Monster of the Week. So if you were an avid fan of that and saw Charles, then you know what kind of player I am.
Yes. Overflowing with creativity and working those acting chops. We're to get some scenes here, boys and girls. All right, next we have Jason. Same.
No, my name is Jason, but my friends call me Jason. I'm they, them kind of human, and I was playing beside Brian there in Monster of the Week, where I was Hawk, where I very desperately wanted to be one kind of character, but it turned out everybody else was a barely functioning toddler, and I had to be the one adult in the group.
Welcome to Cyberpunk, by the way. Awesome.
Okay. Darcy was a mostly functioning teenager. Charles, despite being middle-aged, was definitely a barely functioning toddler.
Yeah, no.
With a chainsaw.
Yeah, that's the best kind. Awesome. Steve, same to you, please, sir.
Hi, I'm Steve. I played Urban Shadows. What else did I play that you ran?
Urban Shadows, Masks. Blades in the Dark.
Blades in the Dark.
There are so many.
I don't know. I played so many games. It's really actually hard
you're not on any stream. You were in my year-long Dune campaign.
Yep.
Which came to conclusion.
And then a trial of Dune before it came out.
Yep. We did the play testing for the Modifius' Dune game. You're in that group, of course. Excellent. So as I said, Steve is the Scott's Case Files veteran here, and also not a Scott's Case Files veteran, but a Scott gaming veteran. We have Aaron. Yes, that's Aaron. He's looking around like who's next? Who's he talking about? So
I'm Aaron. Played many games before Scott's Case Files with Scott, but the relevant ones here are the hunter I played in Urban Shadows, whose name I cannot remember. The 12-year-old Mikey Wong from Tales from the Loop. I love that character. And then the Sprawl, I think we did that one shot, right?
Yeah, the one shot for Extra Life just a couple weeks ago now. I was this past weekend. I was celebrating a whole week past staying up 24 hours straight, and was thankful for sleep and relaxation and stuff. It's not easy for a dude my age. Look at the hair. Staying up for 24 hours, but I did it.
What are you talking about, youngster?
Oh, Jesus.
Now listen here, Sonny.
Oh, God. I will not get off your lawn, Jason. I won't.
No, listen here, boy. What you need to do is listen up. I got some important things to do. Now, kids these say don't ever listen to anything. Now, listen up, boy. I'm telling you, you need to hear what I say.
Thank you, Foghorn Leghorn.
I need you all to listen up.
Oh, God,
back
no.
Back in my day, I was
Clinton,
invited
everybody.
to many a fat chick party, but
23 skidoo.
Oh my God. So on that note, let's get into things. So, all right. So Cyberpunk Red just came out. It's the newest role-playing game iteration, tabletop role-playing game iteration of Cyberpunk. Of course, people are most familiar with Cyberpunk 2020, I think. There was, I think, at least one version before that. The original Cyberpunk was took place in, what's that?
That was 2013 at one point.
Yeah, it was 20 freaking 13 was Cyberpunk, the original.
Was the 1984 published version?
Yeah, a long time ago.
And then second edition was 2020. And then I think officially third edition is in an alternate non-canon timeline.
Yes, please don't look at that.
Wasn't 2020 like the year where the huge virus came out, except it was like a cyber virus?
Well,
I think I remember something about that.
I don't know about that, but that brings us to Cyberpunk Red, however, which is the interim between that and Cyberpunk 2077. So Cyberpunk Red happens basically two megacorps are fighting in Night City. One of them, we're not sure who, drops a pocket nuke, which when you attach anything to nuke, it's really not insignificant. So it blew up a whole lot of it, and there was basically the dust that it kicked up into the atmosphere and the sun, etc., made a red haze for at least several years afterwards. And
that's a big pocket.
That's a huge pocket. And then the other thing that happened, as Aaron was pointing out, there was also Ratch Bartmoss, which was a legendary hacker of Cyberpunk 2020 and before then, actually. Basically released he created these viruses, rabids, I think they were called, and they got out of control and destroyed even him. And now there is no net as we used to know it. There's now just local nets and security nets and stuff like that. So the net runner is more limited, but it is now on the battlefield, so to speak, because you have to be close to your, basically to the get jacked in, if you will. Type of thing. So that's quite different. And the world is quite different because of that. The Euro buck is still the big currency, which is neat. it's carried on, I think, since the original, so that's pretty cool. There are no more dollars, that's worthless crap, and those are little scripts. So here we are. So the group here, we kind of went through, what do we want to do as a team? And after several kind of back and forth, talking about what was interesting to everybody, I think we settled on like a reclamation team. So the idea here is these people are, both in Night City and outside of Night City, and kind of like the wilds, if you will, are scouting out for stuff that is sellable and worth a lot of money and has been forgotten about, or others can't scavenge as efficiently, etc. So the idea is find the stuff, again, in the city or outside, retrieve it, find buyers, sell it, profit, and repeat until you're cyberdot your gourd type of thing. So now it's a matter of what are we doing with the characters. So I know we were talking, and so Brian, I think you settled on solo as your role to start with, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Excellent. That's going to be quite the character. We are looking forward to during a firefight, I want at least two clothing changes. What's that called? What's it called? What's the proper term? But I want that. Let's see. So, Steve, I think you're going to kind of do the tech part.
I am going to do the tech.
Is that? I'm asking you. That was a question mark at the end. Okay, excellent. Jason, and you're looking to do the nomad mostly for transport, right, Jason?
Yep.
Perfect. And Aaron, what did you end up settling on?
Well, I was hoping to settle on media, but I'm not sure if it fits in this one. So, I mean, there's like the documentarian version of media. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, okay, let's ask the group. So if you had a media with you, what would the media's role be? Are you like trying to get are you kind of helping them kind of document what you're recovering? Like, oh wow, we found this, cyber deck from the pre-Red days, type of thing, or this find at this place, or this bit of information. I'm trying to think how media would fit in well. So what do you guys think? Would a media work for you guys, or are you looking for something else perhaps?
They'd basically be our info hub then.
My immediate thought is if the media is very, very young, they could actually have joined the scavenger team as basically a side job hustle to pay their way through, communication school and whatever. And that they're also kind of recording what's going on, and they're going to make that like their thesis project or whatever.
Gotcha. Now, part of being a media is actually having like a following. Let's since we're here, I can't bring up the PDF for obvious reasons. But I kind of want to go over here and look. So the important part of each role is pretty much, I mean, again, I have not finished this book. I am not a master of this yet by any means. I'm working my way towards this always. And in fact, this is one of those where I need the guys to also become as much a master as me, because I cannot be holding hands on this one.
Right.
Yeah. And so in this game, it's going to pull me out of my comfort zone. I've been playing a lot of Power by the Apocalypse for a while now. And so I'm going to actually have to roll my own damn dice, which what the hell is up with that? I'm going to
do some work.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to use some freaking work. I'm going to have to actually use maps, because this is very, like, I won't say miniature. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's very spatially important, like how far you can move and what's in your range and who you can see. So I'm going to have to freaking use maps. I'm not a fan of maps. I'm telling you right here, but I will. But I'm hoping to make that work. There's actually like an initiative order. It's just crazy talk, but I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone for Cyberpunk because I'm such a freaking fanboy and love it so freaking much. So yeah. So let's like getting back to what I was saying. I'm sorry. The main thing that, as far as I can see, that really honestly sets each role apart is just their role ability. There is really, outside of that, anybody can do anything. As long as you have the right roll ability or just the right skills. So like, for example, you can't, if you don't have like the net runner's special skill, you really can't net run. But you can still drive a car like you're a nomad. You can still do this or that. So these role abilities are very much, they on one side help define everything that is specific to this role about you, but otherwise it doesn't. That's really all it is. It's all about this role ability. So let's look at the media's role ability, which is credibility. So the media's role ability is credibility. The media can not only convince an audience of the truth of what they publish, but also has a larger audience the more credible they are. So you start off with credibility 4 out of like 10. Medias also have greater levels of access to sources, and information. They're always in the know with their ears to the ground to pick up rumors on information passively. So there's more on that, but so does that sound like something that, Aaron, like you could have fun with a reclamation group?
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking so far as I think through this, because there's two different things out of the type, the path choices. One is documentarian and the other one is investigative reporter. There's also videographer, but I think somewhere between documentarian and investigative reporter, it would be a combination of like, the Salvage Wars show, right? Because we're out there trying to find stuff. But I think,
my God. You're saying you're thinking of running a reality TV media empire?
Well, I mean,
He is the media.
I'm only level 4, right? So it's
a start.
Right?
Oh! Are you gonna be a camera person, and we're gonna have to do Pawn Stars?
Something like that. But I think like documentarians, they usually have like some other angle that they end up discovering, that they end up turning their documentary into. And there's cause and effect that so Hugh is the name of the character, Hugh Huntley. And I think there's a lot of cause and effect that Hugh would be looking for, either like, why are these guys having to do this, right? Like, what's this lifestyle all about? What's the impact and what's forced them to be here? Of course, that might not be different than anybody else, but something like that. That's like, there's a reason that we're doing this, and then having a fan base would make it easier to get information. I think kind of like what Brian, is it Brian?
Yes.
Yeah, what Brian was saying about being like an info hub type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's pretty
having
cool.
a fan base, they could they could be submitting, you should go check out this area.
Oh yeah, totally. I see that. So yeah, and then you document the pickup or whatever. So
Yeah.
here's the big question. That sounds cool. I'm willing to go with that if the team is. So the question is: A, are you always on? Or B, do they get their faces digitized out, or are they going to basically be recognized in public and like potential superstars, media stars?
Yeah, we'll have to work out those rules, I think. Like what we're going to agree to. I think in getting together, I'd have to honor whatever's important,
That's cool.
and also learn to make myself a part of this team, right?
You will probably have to shoot somebody at some time. Are you done with that?
I can use a handgun. So yeah.
Nice. Perfect. All right.
Being able to use a handgun doesn't mean you're comfortable actually shooting a person with it.
That's true. That's true.
What level of cybernetics makes them not a person, though? Really, I mean, it's a semantics argument at this point, really.
Technically, it's a function of your empathy skill,
right? So okay. So are you guys the rest of the team?
Me when you need me. How about that?
So is everybody down with that? Some like a documentarian. You basically you receive information and tips from his fan base, but in return, he gets to document everything and you guys to whatever extent you end up agreeing on, and obviously Aaron is very much, he's not his character isn't interested in forcing you to be what you don't want to be at this point, though it is cyberpunk and that shit can change.
This works even better with my character now, so I cannot wait to reveal even more now.
Oh god. Well, and I just want to point out that you guys can multi-class. I looked that up, so you can actually buy into the rollability of another role. And work your way up through multiple roles.
One will be enough.
Yes, but conversely, before you guys all start looking ahead to like multi-classing and stuff, the rules also say, by the way, maybe have a secondary character you have on the tip of your head, because your people might just be dying. So yeah, that's why when I finally do make the intro video for this campaign, I will put your real names, but not any character names, just because I don't want to be confusing for anybody if somebody dies. All right, so why don't we jump into it? So we got roles. That's step number one. So I kind of got like a part, like everybody wants to go like totally customized, and what are you guys thinking? There's like the Street Rat or Edge Runner, which you're basically using templates. And then there's the complete package character, where you're basically given points and you dole them out as you like, irrelevant, unrelated to any templates or lists and that kind of thing. What you thinking?
I'm willing to try complete, but
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm going to use longer. Basically, the template is the start, anyways, because those are all the skills that I need. I'm not sold on the numbers, associated to them.
That's what I was thinking. I would basically like use Edge Runner as a base and then tweak things as needed.
Gotcha. Brian, that's what you got?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. All right. So, and again, I apologize to any viewers. I can't share the PDF at this point. So let's kind of do stuff, and as we kind of make characters, I'll bring you to the Roll20 screen, and we can take a look at that. In fact, when I'm gonna kind of pop over, I'm gonna go over there and create characters for you guys. What are your? Well, let's do names quick since we're here. So, Aaron, what's your guy's name?
Hugh Huntley.
Hugh Huntley, perfect.
With an H. Hugh Huntley.
Hugh
with an H.
Yeah, not pew.
Pew, gotcha.
As in pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
It might be that. All right, Hugh Huntley, you're now there. Oh, do I do knock knock already? Or did knock knock make that himself somehow?
I did that myself.
He stole the demo character.
Oh, he did. Fucking knock knock. All right. All right. How about Steve? What's your character name?
Arizona Smith.
Arizona Smith. I'm loving this.
Oh my.
All right. All right. And Jason, what's your character name?
Just Mac.
Mac.
Or MACK.
Perfect. All right. For the people at home, let's going to bring up. Right now, things are so basic, I suppose is the best way to describe it. We're pretty much using the character sheets from the starter, the quick start, which I did not buy. I don't buy unfinished games, basically. It's a horrible way to put it, but it was an unfinished game. They were looking to, make some money, and I get that. But I did get the quick start. I did decide, to wait for the full version. So, but what this is people were playing with the quick start version and made this just to have it. So it's very basic. I think it checks all the boxes you'll need. I mean, it's not as complete as the actual character sheet that we may eventually get on Roll20, but it's a nice start. And again, there's enough room to put everything you need to kind of do your thing. Plus, it also, I believe, does rolls. So,
yes.
So that and there's a very specific. There's a die system with Cyberpunk Red. If you basically D10 is for do I succeed or fail. D6s are for damage. So when you roll to do something and you roll a 10, you roll one more 10. Set a die. Even if it goes to 10, that's it. That's all you get. So the most you can get on a die roll is 20. However, if you get a 1, you then roll another 10-sided die, and if you roll a 1 again, I think something horrible happens. So yeah. So there's that. So the dice rolling is taken into account with the auto dice rolling here. So it does a lot of D8 type rolling plus and minus to kind of do that dice magic. But there you go. So yeah.
The system, I believe it's just like stat plus skill plus D10 versus difficulty.
Yeah, or your opponent's same, basically. Alrighty, so let's take a look. So okay, all right. So I'm looking at the. I'm gonna treat this as a complete package. Of course, you can use the templates as guides as you like. So basically, we've picked a role. That's step 1. Step 2: run your life path. Make sure to run both your general life path and your role-based life path. Remember to pick your cultural origin language, and that's very interesting. I find that interesting. So we are going to be. I'm just to make things simple. I really hadn't thought to make another city only because I think Night City will have such vibrancy to it that we can work with that. So. But so basically you have an origin language, and there's a big list of them. It doesn't assume that your origin language is English just because you're in what used to be, Los Angeles. So everybody speaks street slang, so that's your common tongue. But you also have a native language, which is any number of things. You name it, it's kind of in that list. So I find that kind of cool too. So there's going to be this potential for cultural moments where people who speak the same language are hanging out together or in communities, that type of thing, and that becomes an interesting new thing for the game. All right, so let's do that. So let's look at life paths. All right, so Do you guys want to? Let's see here. Cultural origin. Sorry. Just looking for the life path part here. Again, this is another game where I'm gonna have to make my own GM's thing.
It's like which page is it?
45.
Yeah.
45 is the first section with origin and language.
Yep. So origin, language, and pick. So basically, it's pick yours. I don't see a need to roll it unless you really want to get crazy and just let the dice do as they will. So pick one from each. What region of the world are you from, and what's your language? And those are 2 separate rolls.
I'm definitely gonna roll.
Or actually, are they the same roll? I don't know. I suppose it looks more like it's the same type of thing.
How does the roll work?
So just do a D10. Tell me what you get.
Yep, I got a 7.
All right, you're South Asian. So your languages are Bengali, Dari, English, Hindi, Nepali, Senegalese, Tamil, Urdu.
Oh boy!
I want to say that's like I remember I met some people. I actually went to India on a flight there, and they were Indian, and Urdu was one of the languages they spoke. I'm assuming that's a Indian language, but I've never actually looked it up.
Yes,
so you don't have to stick with that. I don't really care. It's your character for that.
Yeah, I think I want to change it up just a little bit. I was thinking more like something Portuguese or
yeah, do it.
Yeah, I like
okay.
Portuguese.
How about Steve? What are you looking at for your origin, your cultural origin and language?
Looks like I rolled North African, and I will go with French.
Nice. All right, Jason, how about you?
Mac is from Brazil and thus knows Portuguese.
Ooh, nice. Mac is Brazilian. Oh, Brian.
Hold on, I'm just waiting for my book to load. Waiting for my PDF to reload it real quick. There we go.
I don't care.
Okay.
Don't you cry, Brian.
Okay. Shit.
Right.
Thought about everything else because honestly, Knock Knock don't know where Knock Knock's from.
That's interesting.
Knock Knock's...
You want me to pick something? You want me to pick for you?
I want you to pick for me.
Like language and culture, or what?
Well, because Knock Knock is artificial skin. Knock Knock changes their ethnicity and sex and gender whenever they want.
Nice. All right. So let's put cultural region unknown, and you speak. Let's say Romanian.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
All right, do it. Do it. Do it. All right. So let's see. The
urge to start referring to Knock Knock as the Count rising.
Urge rising. All right, I'm going to start changing up your labels here.
Yay.
So give me a moment.
You see, I like to think now that Knock Knock encountered our good old media boy because he was investigating about the so-called Who's There killer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who's There killer?
I told you what Knock Knock does outside Knock Knock's time. Knock Knock either goes to exotic clubs, which in the world of Cyberpunk, exotics is their version of furries. So he either goes
or altered. I mean, like totally,
very true.
Like you have the guy who has all the lizard tattoo, like the lizard skin and the forked tongue. That's considered an exotic, and in terms of that.
So he frequents exotic clubs, drag shows, and his favorite pastime, murder.
Murder. Oh, is it me that turned you on to drag shows after Monster of the Week, or what?
Oh no, that's actually you'll laugh, but drag queens and RuPaul has been a part of my life since I was 7 years old. Me and my mom and my sister, I'll always remember watching Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything. thanks Julie Newmar with Patrick Swayze is Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo, and Wesley Snipes.
Yep,
Wesley Snipes. Yep.
Noxzema Jackson.
Yeah.
But and me and my mom, we religiously watched Drag Race.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Hugh works, for a network. This show would be something that would belong to a network. So he could have started off with something before this show that was like part of the investigative team. He could have played cameraman for somebody.
Okay. Almost there. And Jason, what did you pick? I didn't, or did I miss it? Oh, that's right, Brazilian, and you speak Portuguese. Sorry about that. All right. Well, so that's labels. I should probably actually also do pronouns for your characters. Aaron, what is your individual pronouns for Hugh Huntley?
He, him.
Excellent. Steve?
Same.
All right. Jason?
Go with them.
What is Mac? What are Mac's pronouns? Oop, you're cutting out there, buddy.
Them?
Barely hear you.
I heard them.
Yeah.
They, them?
Yep.
That is so weird. I haven't touched the microphone.
All right, and knock knock. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing they it.
Yep, perfect.
Oh, very knock knock.
All right,
perfect. The clothing style I was looking for.
All right, cool. All right, so we have origins. Awesome. So let's see here. All right, so we want to continue the life path. So technically, going down the life path, we're doing like personality, but I don't really care to like define that on your character sheet. I mean, we're gonna learn all about that during the role play. That's a silly thing to me to actually include on a sheet. However, to get a kind of a flavor for y'all. Do you want to choose from like clothing style, hairstyle, affectation, if any, that type of thing? That stuff is very important to Cyberpunk.
I would like to.
Cool. So let's start since Knock Knock's all ready to go. And by the way, I'm going to continue the Powered by the Apocalypse tradition of calling you by your character names, generally, unless I'm specifically, wanting to address the player. So Knock Knock, what's your clothing style, hairstyle, affectations?
All right. Knock Knock has wild and all over hair because it's just always changing. And Knock Knock wears high fashion.
Oh, nice.
And when I say high fashion, there will be times where he'll look like they belong on a Dolce & Gabbana runway, and then the next they are wearing like a swan suit.
I don't know what a swan suit is. Tell me. I really don't.
Oh, I mean, literally, it's a swan just on the bottom parts of a pants. So, like it goes feathers and then a swan.
That's cool.
Bjork wear that?
Yes.
Oh my god. All right. Any affectations to note?
Okay. So, Knock Knock cannot be without heels or spiked boots.
Spike boots or heels. All right. Nice. Awesome. How about Mac? Are you ready to share yours?
Yeah, I know you can't tab out, but I found a lovely suitable picture. I threw it up in Discord.
Okay, I'll check it out. We'll use that as your avatar once we're actually in the game.
Gunslinger?
Oh. No, not the gunslinger. It's in Discord.
It's in Discord. Sorry.
Yeah. I guess very alternative, very punk looking, kind of a mohawk, multicolored, dyed-haired, lots of facial tattoos, scalp tattoos.
Oh wow!
Kind of a blend between like nomad leathers and like 70s, 80s punk leathers.
Nomad leathers. Yeah.
What's my affectation? It's like more like which ones aren't.
Fair enough.
I'm
seeing very much a Road Warrior look here.
May we do the most?
Very happy Road Warrior.
May we do the most valued person in your life?
Yeah. I think that's next. We're still on the dress process. Don't jump ahead of me. All right, Arizona Smith. What's Arizona Smith's look, hairstyle, affectation?
So he's kind of usually a blend between nomad leathers and bohemian. As I think I pointed out, he's going to be part of a gang called the Fords, or at least associated with them.
I love this. Tell us all about it.
They are a Harrison Ford poser gang. So, their looks, generally run from Indiana Jones to, Han Solo. There's the Deckard types.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't picking up on what exactly Arizona Smith is talking about here, he has literally been body sculpted, face sculpted to look like Harrison freaking Ford, as has everyone else in his gang.
Usually there's a, cost, usually you kind of have to work up to that a little bit.
Yeah. So how close is Arizona then? If he's not if he's not gone full Harrison?
But, I have the hairstyle going, I have the clothes going right now, and then, as things progress, I'll get the rest of the body sculpting.
Nice. So it's like, oh, you want to wear his biceps? Well, you better pick it up. He throws, someone throws a knife at your feet and, goes from there. That would be interesting. Wow, we got to play that scene out. All right. Dr. Arcalari pointed out that yes, Bjork showed up one year at the Oscars with a literal swan dress.
Thank you for that. And that's what Knock Knock is wearing now.
And that's exactly what Knock Knock is wearing. Awesome. I love it. Thank you, Arizona. That's pretty awesome. All right, Hugh Huntley, tell us about you. What's your clothing style, hairstyle, affectation?
All right, so here's Hugh's picture. Also in the Discord channel. But Hugh is, young, blonde, hair kind of wild. Definitely has that more businessy look, but the network that he works for has this cross between biker leather and business suit as a standard for reporters
in the field.
In the field. Yeah.
Oh my god! Why do I just totally got this Running Man vibe? The game show host dude and like the all the the named run chasers, whatever the hell they were called. The Running Man.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
The hunters or whatever. Keep going.
Yeah. So it's a tough but authoritative look. But he's also young. He likes to keep his cyber augmentations on the down low whenever with whatever we're going to choose. So.
Cool. So he doesn't want you to actually see that he has cyber eyes or whatever, etc., etc.
Oh, well, he does. I mean, like, if you see the picture, you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look at that later, and again, we'll whatever it is, we'll end up probably making your avatar, so everybody will see that next session.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
I did upload it to the character sheet too, if you wanted to show.
Yeah, since we can, why don't we do that? Let's take a look. So Hugh Huntley. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And Hugh works. So I think the attire kind of says it all. But Hugh works for a network called FYYL, which stands for "Fuck You, You're Lying." And
that's awesome.
Oh my god, I love it.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Well, that's pretty cool. I love it. We're gonna have to make a logo for that too. I don't know how.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to definitely make one. So that's awesome.
I'll do that.
Awesome. All right, cool. So we're cruising through it, and just as a note, if we're gonna make it through whatever we make it through. This is not Plow by the Apocalypse character generation where you can literally do it in 5 minutes, no problem. This is quite the detailed going through, so we're going to continue with this. So again, however far we get, we'll do the rest offline. And session 1, not this coming weekend, this coming week, since it's Thursday is American Thanksgiving, but the next Thursday after that. For our resident what do you call it? Comfort Canadian. When is Canadian Thanksgiving? I always mess it up.
October.
No.
It's in October?
Yeah, it's the second Monday in October.
Second Monday in October. All right.
They get to enjoy turkey so much earlier than us.
An actual sensible time for Thanksgiving, not, the middle of winter.
You gotta tough it out.
It adds to the scenery. It's beautiful when there's snow around.
Yeah. Have you been to Canada? It's like snowy up there a lot. When it snows,
Oh yeah, true. Never mind that.
Not in the part of Canada I live. It just rains.
Ew! He's in Washington's version of Canada.
I am literally less than half an hour's drive from the Washington-Canada border.
Oh my God! You actually
I know exactly where you are.
There's going to be a Jason stalker. I don't want to be the reason that Jason gets hunted, man. I don't want to be that guy. So, all right.
I have a feeling that I don't know if Knock Knock were to hunt me, we would actually get along really, really well.
All right. So on that note, let's get to the next part of background. Basically, going through the life path. So that, as Knock Knock was alluding to, is your motivations and relationships. So let's start off with and again, you guys can roll or choose. I don't care. It's your character, and I think I hate, but personally, I hate leaving this kind of stuff to chance, since the imagery of in your head is so integral to the character. Doing it by dice roll seems silly to me, but some people are down for that, so do so. If not, please choose. But so basically, what do you value most, and how do you feel about most people? And you can basically choose one from each column. They don't have to match up. So since Knock Knock was already desperately trying to get that out of their system, what have you chosen from each column?
Okay, so the one thing that Knock Knock values and loves the most of all is money.
Nice.
And, of course, Knock Knock hates almost everyone.
So which one is that? I hate almost everyone. That's literally what it says.
Yep, I hate almost everyone. Like, literally, that old woman walking down the street, she's just, oh, such a lovely day. Knock Knock's like, I hate you.
A little bit of a sociopath and like an unsocialized cat type of thing going on.
Most valued person in Knock Knock's life? Their turtle. Hurdle the turtle.
Really?
When Knock Knock is not out killing or reclaiming, Knock Knock is laying in front of their turtle doing this. just looking at Hurdle.
Hurdle the turtle.
And the most Hurdle does is just go, eh. And
right.
The most valued possession is a recording of My Way by Sid Vicious. Knock Knock doesn't know why they love this recording, but it's because it was a recording that their mother would listen to when they were pregnant, before they died.
Before they died, untimely. So is that recording on like chip, like everything else these days, or is it actually some kind of weird old-fashioned thing?
It's actually, I was thinking it should be more retro. It's a cassette. Knock Knock has no idea how to play it, but they just look at it.
All right, so it's the thing they look at. They don't. Does Knock Knock actually know the song then?
Knock Knock has looked it up, but he really wants to know: is there like a difference in sound between what they hear on the net versus what's on the cassette? So
maybe you'll pick up. Maybe that's one of your pieces of impetus for joining this group is to find a cassette.
Looking for a cassette player.
Interesting.
They are looking for a Sony Walkman.
Oh, Jesus. Good luck finding that even today. All right. Mac, why don't you tell us about your motivations, relationships, all that goodies. All those goodies.
Oh, my motivations and relationships. Mac is entirely devoted to their adoptive parent, Morgan, who basically pulled them off the street when they were very young and brought them into the tribe.
Okay. So what you value most is family?
Yeah.
And then the specific person was a parent. Okay, I see.
Yeah. And nothing exactly on the list really matches. I guess the closest is people are untrustworthy, but not really, don't depend. Mac's very friendly, outgoing, gregarious, but underneath that is kind of arrogant and headstrong, and is very, very friendly with people until the moment that they don't want to be, or they don't see a need, or it's like, somebody makes a wrong call, wrong decision, and then just like snap, like light switch. It's like, nope, I'm in charge.
Interesting.
And so very, very friendly, but people are untrustworthy. They make a lot of stupid decisions because people are stupid.
All right, what's the most valued possession you own?
Well, that would be the said parent, Morgan.
Well, that's the most valued person. What's the most valued possession?
I honestly have no idea at this point. Probably end up being well, it's not even my vehicle because it's the tribe's vehicle. So I'm not totally sure at this point. Oh, wait a second. What do we got here? Okay, let's go with a book.
Ooh, what's the book?
What's the book? It is a tattered, dog-eared copy of Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire.
Interesting. Hard copy. How old and ancient.
I just about thought you were going to go with the book from Equilibrium there for a second.
Oh, I can't remember that book.
It was a book by Yeats. I'll have to remember the title. Yates, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll get back to
that. Yates. You're an internet person.
All right, Arizona Smith, tell us all about your motivations and relationships.
He values his word. He is pretty neutral on most people. They have to give him a reason to be trusted, or to be not trusted. He's willing to let his gut tell him. His thing I value the most, I do have a personal hero, obviously, Harrison Ford, which I strive to live up to. And his most valued possession, he has a fedora that, was claimed to have been used on set.
Cool. On Indiana Jones 7 or 8?
No, this would have been while Harrison Ford was still alive. So it would have been, we'll go Temple of Doom.
He was probably alive during 8. I don't know.
I don't know. They haven't even got 5 yet. So
fair enough. All right. Awesome. All right. Hugh Huntley, tell us all about your motivations and relationships.
So Hugh values knowledge most, which plays along with why he's wanting to be a documentarian. He likes just about anybody, so he feels pretty good about anybody. He realizes that everybody's just trying to do the best they can. He, as far as like people who are close to him, he really has a strong attachment to his older brother, who is a net runner, goes by the name of Corked. And
can you please key us in on the geekiness behind that? Because I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a programming thing that I'm not aware of. I want to join in on this.
No, it's more just like a little bit of a play off of our family history. At one point, we had a winery, in Portugal a long time ago, and so he kind of took that name from something influencing him from the winery. So,
Gotcha.
But it is a little elite speak. It is CORK 3D.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And his favorite item or his most valued possession is an army-issued harmonica from World War II.
Wow. You guys are into the old stuff here. I'm impressed. And that's like over a century old by this time.
Yeah, he keeps it close.
Nice. So, and Dr. Arcillary chimes in with and I only watched a couple episodes of Max Headroom, but Max Headroom's Blank Reg. It's a book. It's a non-volatile storage medium. It's very rare. You should have one. There you go. I think it is technically volatile. You can start on fire. So, but there is that. That's pretty cool. So, let's see here. All right, so we're going through that. So, all right, next. Let's see. So your background, your original family background, unknown to Knock Knock, but he had to come from he had to be raised by somebody, or maybe on feral on the streets for all we know, but whatever.
So Knock Knock, of course, his background is he's an urban homeless. But before that, after he lived on the streets for a bit, he was taken up by a corporate exec because they witnessed Knock Knock just going ballistic, killing a bunch of homeless people in the alleyway. So I guess you could consider it number 7. Your family is involved in a long-term conspiracy organization or association, such as a crime family or a revolutionary group. This organization, they like to say they're all nice and good, but we all know that they're just a dirty crime family.
What number is that?
Number 7.
I see. That's urban homeless on mine.
Oh no, I went to the wrong one. I went to Tales from the Street. Sorry.
We're on page 49 of the PDF.
Oh, I went 2 pages ahead. Sorry about that.
Little foreshadowing then.
So,
you start off as urban
homeless. Yeah, but it's still urban homeless. That does not change.
Okay.
Because I imagine Knock Knock was on the streets till they were about 12 years old, and then that's when Daddy found them.
Oh, jeez. The Fagin character, like Oliver Twist. But violent. Really, really violent. All right. So I figure we'll do each one by one. So go ahead and, Mac, what's your original family background?
Essentially, I mean, it's, as far as Mac knows, it's nomad. They don't really remember anything before they were adopted into the family because they were very, very young at that point.
Gotcha.
No, they weren't original, but essentially that's how they grew up. That's what they knew.
Okay, and I'm gonna come once we get the life path done. I'm gonna ask some more questions of all of you, and we'll come back to some questions I have on that, Mac. But I want to let's get all that done, and then I can come back and we'll flesh out your characters a little. Again, if this is more role play side session 0, that's fine, and we do the mechanical stuff off screen. That's also cool. But so let's go Arizona. What was your original family background?
Combat zoners.
Combat zoners, nice. Let's see. All right. So a step up from a gang family. Your home was decaying building somewhere in the zone, heavily fortified. You were hungry at times, but regularly could score a bed and a meal. Homeschooled. No shit, right?
Yes, I think he learned a lot of his improv, in terms of the tech and fixing virtually everything because you really couldn't afford to replace it.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Hugh, what was your original family background?
Originally corporate execs. So the basic description of that. So where's my stuff here? somewhere. Here we go. Corporate execs, wealthy, powerful, with servants, luxury homes, best of everything. I'll say that Hugh's family from that winery, they sold that to Costco so that Costco could have their own brand of wine through that that winery production. And with that money, they started a subatomic pharmaceutical company.
Oh, jeez. Now, I just want to put out there that when I hear winery, this is Cyberpunk, so I'm assuming it wasn't like a in the fields type of winery. It was more like a hydroponics, vines growing inside with water being transported and stuff like that, or what? What did that look like?
Oh yeah. So I would say it was like nearing the time where it probably had to move into that sort of thing. And they got out right before, so they left it when it was still the original. Like this was long time ago, and so since then, really the family has made all of their money off of this pharmaceutical company.
Oh, I see. Okay, so as far as you've been alive, it's been the pharmaceutical group.
Yeah. I never knew the actual winery.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so he's never gone anywhere up until now. He's never gone anywhere without like 2 private bodyguards, and he attended. Let's see, what is this called? He attended the Carlucci American International School of Lisbon, which is one of the most expensive schools in Portugal.
Nice. All right. Interesting that you and Arizona speak Portuguese, right? Is that your language? I forget.
French.
Oh, French. I'm sorry. Oh, Jason. Yeah, Mac. I'm sorry.
Mac.
Yeah, Mac and Hugh was supposed to be Portuguese. Okay, that's cool. Cool. All right. Next step in the process. So now we do your environment and your family crisis. So, knock knock. You already kind of alluded to yours. So what was that one more time, please?
Okay, the first one is he ran the street with no adult superstition until that evil corporate exec, Facebook, found him and took him in. So it's number 1 and then number 7. So Knock Knock was just running the streets, and even at a young age, he just loved to kill things.
Love to kill things. Well, it's good to have goals and interests in life. It's very important. All right, Mac. What are yours? Environment and family crisis.
Kind of flip-flopping between 3 and 4.
Okay, like Nomad Pack, and let's see, a Nomad Pack with roots in transport. Ooh, interesting.
Wait a second. That's childhood environment? I thought we were on crisis.
We're doing both of them at the same time.
Okay, yeah. So, the first one would just be 3.
Okay, so Nomad Pack.
Yeah, Nomad Pack that moves, as compared to 4, which is Nomad Pack that stays still but works in transport. Although they could end up, and then with the family crisis, likely, exiled or otherwise driven from the original home, which would have been Brazil, which would explain how I ended up in, what used to be California.
Cool. All right.
So.
Awesome. All right. Arizona, how about you?
I'm going to stay spending my childhood in the heart of the combat zone. And the crisis is that my family is currently imprisoned.
Ooh, interesting. Like all of them? Like all your immediate family members?
Yeah, I would say, parents and a brother. I'm guessing seriously indebted to someone.
Gotcha. All right. That sounds cool.
And I just happened not to be home when, they got nabbed and just never been back since.
Gotcha. All right. So you're probably not even sure what happened to him, really. For sure.
Not that I know of.
Gotcha. All right. Hugh, how about your environment and family crisis?
All right. Okay. So, environment, lived in a corporate luxury star scraper. Is that right? Star scraper? Yeah. High above the rest of the teeming rubble. We'll make a call back here to say this star scraper is called Wintermute, and the family unfortunately suffered a multi-government legal action lawsuit against the pharmaceutical company at one point, and scattered my family to the winds after everybody lost all their money.
Oh wow, very cool. So I just want to point out that all of you are giving me so much to work with, side story style. So it's gonna be quite interesting. All right, so let's continue on. I want to make some progress. So let's see here. So Tales from the Street. Let's see here. So I'm tempted to do this offline only because there's a lot of potential dice rolling and more than one friends and enemies thing for each of you. Would that be all right with you guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And then it'll give you some time to kind of think this part over. So these will be NPCs not related to, directly at least to the other player characters. And just, do your roles or not as you like, and we'll figure those out and integrate those in as we go. So let's see here. So what are you going to do about it is also part of it. How about we do a tragic love affair that's separate from those guys? So let's see here. So what was let's start with Knock Knock. What was your tragic love affair?
Well, Knock Knock was, unbeknownst to them, this was a very powerful person that they were. Well, Knock Knock was just sleeping with them. There was no love to them, but apparently they loved Knock Knock, but Knock Knock didn't care. And one day, one of their workers came in and pissed Knock Knock off, and Knock Knock disemboweled them and wrote who's there on the wall and left. So that lover got imprisoned because they were believed to be the who's there killer.
Oh my god. All right.
It was literally a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment because Knock Knock just went.
All right, Mac, what's your tragic love affair?
My lover mysteriously vanished, so I'm gonna work out a few details on that.
Perfect. All right, Arizona, how about yourself?
I don't know. Let me roll dice.
All right.
Willing to fly. 2. Also mysteriously vanished.
There you go.
I will say I don't even know anything about them. Is that on a different page?
Just how many tragic love affairs you've had.
I was going to say,
yeah, just make it up. I don't think that actually points it out or anything like that.
It's just graphical.
Yeah.
I'll go with he was investigating, or he was running down. I'll say he was a net runner, and he was running down a lead on some, program in the corporate sector.
And never heard from him again at some point.
Nope.
He probably got that lead, and someone else figured it out.
Maybe, like if I'm missing, I've probably gone here, type, message that went out. But, cold lead.
Right. No one ever showed up. That will happen. Welcome to Cyberpunk. All right. Let's see. All right. So that leads us to the last part of the life path. Well, at least for the general, we still have roll ones to go through. So what are your life goals? What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, Hugh. I'm sorry, Hugh. I was totally just getting ahead of myself. Hugh does not get a lover. Yeah, has you ever lost a lover?
I'm too young to love. So yeah, it's funny though because mine also mysteriously vanished. But I'll say that my lover was a hot Brazilian model named Shua. And she was between jobs, and she mysteriously vanished shortly before the class action lawsuit was announced.
Oh no. That'll happen.
Oh no! Does this mean the mysterious vanishing was Knock Knock?
Oh Jesus!
Oh yeah, that's the key.
Well, there's a link.
That's
Oh,
what
my
brings
God.
us all together.
Another point in.
All right. Now let's go to life goals. Why don't we start with Hugh? Let's switch it up. What are your life goals? No pressure. Oop! Somebody dropped off. Oops. Coming back. Come on. You can do it.
You can do it.
Aaron's trying. Slow but sure. All right. Well, so while we're waiting for him, how about Arizona life goal? What you thinking?
I'm gonna say make enough money to pay off my family's debt.
All right. Cool. Gonna maybe get your family back. That's pretty cool.
Maybe I do know, where they are, but like no contact, no way to get to them. Just maybe had an idea how much they owe.
Okay, we can work with that, certainly. All right. How about Mac?
My goal is number 8, save people who are close to you. I'm not decided whether or not my adoptive parent Morgan is in some kind of trouble and need saving from. They may not. I don't know. It's juicy hook if you want to take the bait.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
But they're definitely convinced that something untoward has happened. Their former lover, Hightower Vulcan, basically they woke up. Mac woke up one morning and Hightower just was not there, and then just continued, did not respond to things. And then, things like, this account, this number no longer exists. And they just went no contact, and like all their online accounts and everything they had deleted and all of that. And Mac is convinced that that something happened to them.
Okay, so discover what happened, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure. If they're alive, find them and get them out of this. If they're not, get revenge. But find out what happened. Find them, track them down. It's been really, really hard so far. So
okay, awesome.
Not really getting anything.
Cool. We'll see if the team picks up. Let's go back to Hugh. Aaron, you back in business here?
I am.
Cool. Great. What is your life goal? What is Hugh's life goal?
I would say Hugh's life goal is to get what's rightfully his. He expected fully to be able to inherit all that wealth. And so it's a fresh and raw wound, but it doesn't really come to the surface. He knows better, given his current condition, to make any of that really public. But that definitely is what drives him. And something about the current path that he's on with FYYL and the documentarian project it has to do with building a case to get back what's his.
Interesting. Cool. You definitely get some contacts through there. That's awesome. All right, Knock Knock. What's Knock Knock's big life goal?
Oh, Knock Knock's big life goal. Hold on. Fine. Oh, become feared and respected. Knock Knock wants their name to resound through everyone's lips, and when they hear Knock Knock, they piss themselves.
It's a goal. Good job. All right. So let's see here. All right. So we should be able to make this pretty quick and whatnot. We have another 20 minutes for our mid episode break, but I think we can knock this off before then. So let's. Who is ready? Who would like to do the role based life path?
I'm all ready.
All right.
I'm all ready.
All right. First, their hand up was Knock Knock. All right. Go Knock Knock. What? All right. Tell us all about your role. What each section is, and then what your choice underneath them, etc.
Okay, so for what kind of solo are you? Knock Knock, as I told you, was a corporate assassin, but he was a special kind of. He was their black ops agent. So he was a corporate or freelance black ops agent for this very powerful company that he kind of just walked away from.
Did he?
This actually goes into the next point of. Do you believe that he left away peacefully? Because their moral compass, they're totally evil. You engage in illegal, unethical work all the time. In fact, you enjoy it. And who's gunning for you? A corporation.
Exactly.
Knock killed about 75% of the people in the building before they left.
Oh my god. And what's your operational territory?
Wherever the money takes you.
All right, nice. All right, who would like to do the next role life path?
All right, then. So Mac's current tribe is just a couple dozen members. It's pretty small. It kind of splinters off and rejoins larger tribes as needed. Kind of. It's currently pretty small.
Okay.
Only just a couple of families.
So, what do you do for your pact? What do you for pack, rather?
Mostly I was just another driver.
Okay, so you're a transport pilot / driver. That's optional.
Driver, yeah, primarily. I mean, everybody in the family knows how to use weapons, but primarily I was a driver. But PAC's overall philosophy is probably about a 3.5.
So what does that make it?
Yeah, it's it's like instead of occasionally slip and do unethical things, but it's rare. But it's fairly uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
But not necessarily. We try to stay within the rules, but if that's going to be too difficult or an issue, then there's not much hesitation about going around the rules.
If there's a survival issue, maybe you just gotta do the thing. Okay, and who's gunning for your pack?
Dice roll says one thing, but I'm thinking another.
Go with your gut.
Yeah, go with your gut.
Drug runners.
Drug runners. Ooh, I can see how Nomad Pack could mess with that stuff. So yeah, are you rolling on me? Am I missing your rolls?
I'm just rolling off roll 20. So
gotcha.
So you're not seeing them, but yeah.
Pop it over. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty.
All right.
Cool.
Oh wow, we're done life paths. Oh wow. Well, except for the friend enemy bit, but whatever.
We'll get
We'll get
All
to
right.
that.
All right. So Arizona or Hugh, who wants to go next?
Editorial.
What's that?
What's an editorial when it says stories you wish to tell?
An editorial is an opinion piece rather than like factual reporting.
Gotcha. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Arizona.
Hold on a second.
He lost his train.
I can go if.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Let's roll. There's only one roll I don't like, so he is I don't want to be an inventor. I'm gonna go with
Fuck the roll.
Tech. His workspace. This I'll let go.
Are you doing who are your main clients? Who are your supplies part?
That's actually page 2. Mine, the bookmark I think is off. Mine actually starts on page 58.
Oh, does it? Oh wow, that's a big one. Jeez, sorry.
So my workspace, only I understand my filing system.
And what kind of tech are you again? I'm sorry.
Jack of all trades tech.
Jack of all trades. Nice. Very handy.
System is mine.
And did you get a partner? Do you work alone? Probably you, since no one else understands it. Your workspace.
Yeah, I think I work alone.
Okay. All right. And now to the next part.
Clients. Let's roll that. Local nomads and fixers who bring me stuff to repair.
I see some interweaving here. All right. Where do you get your supplies? Probably from your freaking day job, which is reclamation.
Scavenge wreckage I find in abandoned city zones.
Nice. And who's gunning for you?
So I'll also leave to chance. Corporates who want me to work for them exclusively.
Oh.
Maybe I brought in a small score, or, have a knack for finding things.
Yep. That's awesome. That can definitely work. Interestingly.
So HR wants me. And HR really being any corporation, because I don't want to work for any of them.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Let's see. All right. Hugh, tell us about your media.
So Hugh is a reality TV documentarian. He, builds up his source material to produce this documentary based off of the reality TV shows that he records. And he has a loophole in his contract that one of his still powerful uncles helped him secure with the network, so that he has rights to use that those shows to produce his own documentary and own it. Let's see. His work reaches the public via the FYYL network. Ethically, he's willing to bend any rules to get the bad guys, but only the bad guys. And he wants to tell editorials.
Cool.
That's as far as types of stories he wants to tell.
Gotcha. Otherwise, you are doing like the main part. You're doing editorials on the side where you're actually showing the reality TV show of the Reclamation group thing, right?
Yeah, there isn't really a story of reality TV, but I think there's a lot of cutaways in reality TV where he ends up putting in his own opinion, basically. So.
Perfect. Nice. Excellent. All right. Okay, so we've done that. So next part is stats. So let's take a look at those. Let's see here. All right. So stats. There are many of them. So you have. Let's see here. Let's see right there. So you have intelligence, reflex, dexterity, tech, cool, will, luck, move, body, empathy. So let's see here. So intelligence, how generally bright you are. It not only is like book smart, but wittiness. This is the penultimate would be the Oscar Wilde, I think, type of character. Willpower, determination, and ability to face danger or stress. Represents a courage, ability to live to survive long-term privation. Do without. And it's important for determining how much damage you can take. So very important. Cool. 72 of the PDF.
Okay.
So cool. Your ability to impress and influence people through character and charisma. Your cult of personality, if you will. How you interact with others, etc., etc. Empathy, your ability to relate to and care for others and take others into consideration. So this is very important to Cyberpunk in the sense that you lose empathy as you get more cybernetics in your body. So that's how people become cyber psychos. They go to almost zero empathy, and then suddenly they're like, people don't matter. Why not just break them all and mash them into a cube for your amusement when they really don't matter? They're just these meat sacks in comparison to you, that type of thing. You begin to lack any empathy for anyone around you. So basically, this is important if you're, ironically, if you're looking to pack on a lot of cybernetics, you may want to put a couple extra points into empathy to offset the fact that you're going to be a bit metal and plastic and ceramic. Tech. You really manipulate tools and instruments. And this is it's not the same as reflexes in as much as it covers the knack of using tools. Let's see. This is more like fine manipulation of things. This is using a scalpel, using a tweezers on a motherboard type of thing. Soldering just the right place or whatever it is that they do for technology in this age. Reflexes. So this is basically your ranged combat stat. You want to shoot things with any projectiles or throw them, you need some reflex. Then you have luck. You can basically take this luck and add it to rolls. It refreshes every session. But yeah, there's not a lot of it compared to how much you might need for things. So keep that in mind. You have body. This basically it helps determine how much damage you can take, and it's your toughness and that kind of thing. Physical mass, structure, etc. Dexterity. Okay, so this is more as opposed to technique, which is that fine manipulation. Dexterity is kind of still being aware of your body. This is more close in, manipulation. So this is you dodging attacks. This is you trying to hit somebody with a monofilament whip or a sword or whatever. That's what you use for this. Movement is literally movement. In mechanical terms, I believe your movement is what you can normally use your move section of your turn to move in spaces, each space being a 2-meter square, basically. And I think I got them all. All right, so there's that. So let's look at I know you guys were talking you wanted to kind of look at the templates, use that as a base and tweak from there. But if we're doing basically you can get an idea from that, and then basically for the actual distribution you get let's see here. What's up?
62.
Yep. You have 62 points to distribute between 10 stats. So average of just over 6 per, or
6 for everything and 2 left over.
Yep.
And then adjust from there.
What's that?
And then adjust from there.
Yep, just from there. So let's see. And I think there's a maximum we can go for starting.
8.
8.
Okay.
8.
So as a note, I in the as far as I've gotten in the rules, and you guys can start filling your stuff out as you like. But as far as I've gotten in the rules, if you are looking to do actual martial arts and whatnot type moves, you kind of need I think it's a body of 8. You have to be, or is it reflex? Let me look that up.
Reflex is the ranged attack skill. Dexterity is the melee attack skill.
Yeah. Let me find that real quick. I don't want to lead you guys wrong.
But yeah, there was another. I remember the FAQ saying something like, if you didn't have enough body, you wouldn't be able to use a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so if you want to go martial arts, you have to go all in.
Yeah. Let's just see real quick. Here we are. Okay. Yeah, martial arts. Let's see if I can get the actual. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the right info. Here. Martial arts. Okay, so yeah, basically when you do martial arts, you pick a form: karate, aikido, or is it judo? Let's see here. And again, none of us are masters as yet, so we're kind of working at it. Taekwondo is the other one. So yeah, to do most of them, let's see. So for aikido, for example, let's see, are there any requirements? Hit the target. Aikido is more of like just using your skills against them. Karate, the bone-breaking strike requires a will of 8 or higher. Interesting. So like your ability to kind of put it out there. Judo, let's see here. I'm just looking at the other things. Yeah, will. That's weird. Pressure point strike will is a will needed. Flying kick for Taekwondo is a move of 8. You're actually moving for most of it. It does seem that it's weird that it's will, but I suppose I could see like that focus aspect of it. Maybe it's trying to have you get these cool attacks, but you need to diversify your stat type of thing. Let's see here. But it does do a lot of stuff where like aiming for a specific body part does cost you a lot, so you really need to go to trying to do that. So for martial arts, take your dexterity into account. I could swear when I first looked at this there was more stuff. What's that?
What page is martial arts on?
178. Let's see here. Maybe the other things. Let's see here. And viewers, bear with us as we kind of go through the rules again. This is not my normal Powered by the Apocalypse type game where you have the basics and you never have to look at the book again. This is very much, I'm going to be making my own GM sheet type of thing. Let's see here. Yeah, dex brawling. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind. Look at the martial arts part. If you want to do those things, you need to make those requirements. So kind of keep that in mind. Let's see here. Cool. All right. So yeah, start looking at your stats. You have those 62 points. If you guys want to do that, I'll kind of just keep commentarying through there, but let me know when you're done distributing, please.
Done.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh.
Yeah, mostly. I might tweak it over the course, but yeah.
Okay. How about Hugh?
I've got an entry, but I want to make sure I can do a keto, so I'm trying to figure that out. Okay. And I want to make sure that I've got what it takes for my core skill. I can't remember what the main thing for media is.
Yeah, your credibility.
Stay high. Yeah. Is credibility based off a specific...
No, it's actually... credibility is your roll stat, so it'll be a 4.
Okay.
So yeah, so let's see. So it's all based off of your actual roll level. So as that goes up, you get even better. So for example, rumors, you'll basically roll a stat. So I'm assuming that would be like, for you, that it would be very dependent on like how you're doing it. Like if you're looking things up from like data sheets and stuff, that might be intellect. If you're trying to schmooze somebody for rumors, maybe that's cool. Your cult of personality trying to get out there. So that's situational.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And then relevant skills having to do with that, it looks like. But it's basically like, where does that come in? That's kind of interesting now that you bring that up. So where does your media level fit into that? Because I don't see it being included in the role. Oh, here we go. So medias are deeply plugged in information networks. Assuming you aren't entirely off grid, at least twice per week, the GM will secretly roll your credibility rank plus 10. If the 10 beats the DVs on the rumors table below, which I can check out, the GM will clue the media in on the highest DV rumor and their with their check beat. And then the street. When a media is actively looking for rumor, that's when you roll your stat, irrelevant skill. Again, we'll get into skills shortly, but you get the picture.
but I don't necessarily need a specific skill to be high to match up to my roll stat.
Not in the basic use of the roll stat. If you, again, for example, let's take for example the finding rumors. So let's when you'll based on your stat, your roll stat, your credibility, you'll automatically get access to some, assuming you beat certain rolls. But when you're looking to get them, it seems like it's just basically the same type of thing. You're schmoozing someone on the street. So, hey, I'm talking to that ganger who's a friend of mine and loves the show. So I'm going to be rolling like cool because it's a cult of personality plus we'll get into skills where that skill is and then roll 1d10 and then you get to figure out if you make it high enough on the table to get a good rumor out of them.
That's what I was thinking too, is like cool would be pretty important.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to see what else it would do. So credibly ranks 3 and 4.
Okay, well, that gives me a basic idea of what's
So it's good to have that, and otherwise it's good to know how to schmooze people and look for things online, if you will.
So the roll thing is defined as a roll ability, not a skill.
Correct.
Right. It's completely separate. It's not a skill. It's completely separate. So it has effects
so
you can get.
It's not tied to a. It's not tied to any attribute.
Right. Not directly. Like mine, I use my tech skill for a couple of the roll options. So in that way it is tied. But there's other ones that I might use it for most of mine actually. But that's really dependent on the, like the Nomad, because it adds to your driving, or your vehicle handling. It would make sense for your vehicle handling skill to be high.
Right, to do this stuff.
Yeah, because that's part of the ability is the vehicle familiarity. The tech ability maker does say add the rank and specialty to any basic tech, cyber tech, electronic security tech, weapon tech, land, sea, or air vehicle tech skill.
Right.
That you make for any non-maker specialty. So that one explicitly says it's, and even that. Well, I think those are all basically int skills, but yeah.
I mean, all of my specialty ones.
Yeah.
I add tech too.
Yeah, but otherwise they're not tied.
All the skills were tech skills.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of the role stuff, it's like if you're picking attributes and skills that'll get you where you want to be for what you want to do in the first place, you're gonna work out just fine with your role, that type of thing. So we've hit the halfway point. So why don't we do our 10 minutes? You guys want to take your breaks, hydrate, eat, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in 10. All right.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you, guys. Be back in 10. All right, we're back from break, ready to get into it. So yeah, Mac or Jason, so you're talking about body is the important thing to do, like damage in melee combat, which is the important thing, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're using a weapon, it does damage based on the weapon. If you're using unarmed attacks, your body determines how much damage your unarmed attack does.
Gotcha. So yeah, I think you need a body of 8 is like important if you're going to actually want to kick somebody's ass, pretty much, if I recall from what I read. So here's an interesting thing. Okay, so here's where, in my mind, Cyberpunk 2020 went off the rails, and it's kind of a victim of its own reality. So you know how they're in Cyberpunk is generally speaking, I have some cyberware, I'm competing at my level, I want to get better, so I need to do jobs to get more cyberware, and then I get the more cyberware, and then I'm competing at this level, but there's guys above me and I want to get to that level or not be prey to them, so I have to keep going, and so it's this never-ending thing of getting cyberware. So it would come to a point where, and here's what I didn't like, was that you could literally become armored enough, for example, like as like a partial conversion Borg, where like if you went up against this creature with anything short of a rocket launcher, you just couldn't do anything to it. So for me, as much as Cyberpunk as that was, as a role-playing game, it sucked horribly because suddenly you got these players who like, oh god, we don't have a rocket launcher, and getting them to stand next to the car as we blow it up is going to be almost impossible, et cetera, et cetera. So there came to this point where it was where you literally just couldn't compete. There was a point where if your GM threw some at you, you literally couldn't do anything, and that's end of game. That's one of the reasons I like Powered by the Apocalypse stuff so well, is that generally that situation doesn't occur. You can always do something and maybe win.
Have they done something different then in Red?
So yep. Thank you for my segue. Perfect. So one of the things, beyond just the fact that they don't stack armor, and the more armor you do put on you, the slower and less dangerous you get, because it affects your dexterity and your reflex and your movement, which are all three important to combat. So the more you put on, the worse you are, but the more protected you are. So it's self-defeating type of thing. And then you also have what's called critical injuries. So no matter what, if you're, and this is where it gets a little more dangerous though, as if freaking being shot with 4d6 damage isn't already horrid. But when you're rolling your d6s for damage, if 2 or more roll a 6, you just scored a critical injury on your target, even if it does no damage, even if it does 0 damage. You have now done a critical thing, which goes from dismembered arm to collapsed lung, broken ribs, broken leg, crushed fingers, spinal injury. So these are all things. So things can go from great to oh crap in the split second. And so that's kind of like the equalizer. Yeah, this guy can be loaded down with armor coming at you, but for one, they're not going to be as dangerous because they're working at such negatives. And if you're rolling a bunch of damage dice and 2 of them are 6s, you just scored a critical injury on them, and now they have to deal with that. So it made it there's an equalizer, but it's also another danger factor that you guys will have to deal with should you get shot up with 2 or more 6s. And a lot of those, can segue into new cybernetics. Dismembered arm, okay, we could maybe regrow that, or just give you a medical version, just to take its place. Which, interestingly, I'm not sure if you guys have picked up on this. So, if a cyber limb is used just to replace like a birth defect or a loss through accident type of amputation, it costs no empathy. It basically doesn't bring you down. It's not considered cyberware in the true sense. It's more of giving you back what you already had type of thing. So it's basically it's kind of one of those ways where it's also making a statement that people in our time or whatever who are amputees and whatnot, just by putting on some kind of prosthetic or anything, they're not losing empathy. They're not becoming less human for that. They're just trying to replace the thing that they had. So that's an important statement there too. So anyway, sorry for my segue there. I just want to kind of make sure we're kind of brought up to speed on some stuff. So yeah, so if you want to kick ass, you better have a good body. That came out wrong, but you know what I mean. You get it. So kind of keep that in mind. And again, what I want you guys to understand is, again, we're kind of going over things. I want you to get things, if you guys can, set things, 50 to 60% with the way you want them, and then over the next couple weeks, flesh it out and get it solid to where you're feeling comfortable with it. That's cool.
An armadillo, cyber armadillo.
We don't want to encounter that. Just run. Just fucking run. Okay, just do it. Just run.
No, I want to be that.
Oh, you want to be a cyber armadillo? Okay, run. Anyway. Okay, so let's assume that you've gotten pretty much your what do you call it? Your stats done. Let's look at. I think skills come next. Let's see, huh? Let's see. Okay.
Skills.
Yeah. What was that? What was that, Mac?
Derived stats.
Oop, you're cutting out there real bad for some reason.
Derived stats.
still.
Oh, derived stats. I can barely tell what you're saying, but yeah, your audio is horrible at the moment. That's where it's different.
Required for everyone derived statistics.
Yeah. Yes, okay, so let's look at derived statistics.
Page 8.
Let's see. Okay, so here we go.
PDF.
So derived statistics of hit points and humanity. Let's see how. So you have hit points equal to 10 plus. Oh, geez, it's making us do math. So let's see. Body and will averaged. So whatever that is times 5 plus 10 is your hit points. So there's hit point system. That's another reason I'll be using like your avatars so I can track hit points on them and that kind of thing once we actually get to session 1, etc., etc. So it's kind of something to keep in mind there. Let's see here. Your humanity, I believe, is it's like 10 times your empathy.
Yeah.
And let's see, and then there's saves there. We can calculate those at some point. Let's see. Yeah, you have your death saves and stuff like that. And that's basically literally if you're under a hit point, you start rolling death saves like to just not die. And if you miss one, you literally are just unrecoverably dead. So,
Can we record humanity?
That's a deep question, Hugh. It's very deep.
No, there's no spot for it.
Okay.
Probably because in the jumpstart, they probably didn't care.
Yeah, they were all templates at the time. They were just doing
Gotcha.
templates and not actually creating stats. But yeah, put that if there's a note section there. I'm not totally familiar with it. Just pop it in there.
Okay.
And then
There's no note section, but okay.
Fair enough.
We'll put
So,
it
yeah.
up front.
We'll be able to backward hit regardless when you get cyberware. You can always just name like cyber armor in brackets. 7H. It costs you 7 humanity or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not. Again, we'll get the things in place for next session. Not to worry. So yeah, so humanity is what you actually subtract things from when you get cyberware based off your empathy. All right. So yeah, let's go to skills. So let's see here. So interestingly, it's like unlike other systems we're used to, where, for example, World of Darkness, where how skills and stats are kind of intermergeable depending on what you're doing. You can use your willpower and firearms if you're sitting behind a sniper rifle for 6 hours waiting for your target to see if you pay attention and get the right time, that kind of thing. This is very much it has linked stats. So if you're rolling this, you're rolling that type of thing.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
Yeah, so for example, cryptography is always an intelligence combination with intelligence.
Got it.
Melee weapon is always dex. Play instrument is always technique. Type of thing. And you can see that in the skills tables as follows. So you have awareness skills, awareness of environment, notice and clues, body skills, strength, endurance, physical goodies, control, controlling, which is basically vehicles or piloting beasts, if you will. Education skills, so knowledge, schooling, fighting skills, hand-to-hand combat or with melee weapons, performance, everything from acting, musicianhood, I'm not sure which one is real. Special effects, makeup, interesting. That's all under performance. Ranged weapon skills, social skills, and then technique skills. Technique being vocational stuff, doing stuff with your hands, repairing cybernetics or doing surgery or even first aid, that kind of thing. So you can kind of see. So yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, so one of the things, so there are a lot of skills. There are a lot of skills. So the rule for 0 skill rolls is you basically just don't anything. You can try to do a tracking roll if you don't have the tracking skill, but you're just rolling intellect plus D10, and that kind of thing. So This is very much a game that if you want to be good at something, you definitely have to start putting skill points into it. You can't get by on just your stat alone unless your stat is really incredible. So let's see here. So for the completely calculated patch or package like we're looking at, let's see here. Let's see. That's that. Let's see. Here we are. Okay, so complete package. You have 86 skill points to distribute. No skill can be higher than 6. And if you look on page 90, there's a list of the skills that have to be at 2. So you have to take those skills at 2 at least.
If you look at the templates for the skills, where they already have like skills pre-assigned, everything in bold is a minimum of 2. Because those are all skills you have to learn to make it past 10 years old, basically.
To survive, literally.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get 4 levels in the language of your choice for free. Your language is free, so you get those 4 points there for free. And the other thing is, if you look at some of the skills as you're kind of going through them, some of them like martial arts, auto fire, which if you want to literally instead of using an actual weapon skill, you use auto fire if you're in auto fire mode, totally separate. But you see at times 2. So basically, you'll spend 2 points for each level instead of just the one for one that everything else goes for. And also to increase those is also at a higher level as we go along. So yeah, so why don't you guys kind of go through again, look at the templates if you like to get a kind of idea of what your class should have. And kind of then just kind of branch out from there. Or what I always do in these situations is kind of just go down the list of skills and make a mark by one that I feel like I'm going to need, and just kind of go back through and see if I have enough skill points to fill all of them out. But yeah, there's no shame in going up to a 6 in these, and it'll be very valuable for you to do so. But again, it's all a balance thing. Either more skills at lower levels, fewer skills at greater levels, and just kind of hope you stick to what you know. So kind of go with that. Any questions while we're here?
I'm trying to figure out the difference between first aid and paramedic.
So it depends on the injury. So certain injury levels can't be fixed by first aid. They must be paramedic or at a higher level surgery. So let me see if I can find an example there for you.
Can't put a Band-Aid on cancer?
Or a dismembered arm.
Yeah, first aid is patching up a bullet hole. Paramedic is keeping somebody alive after their arm's been cut off.
Okay.
And then surgery is, putting on a new cyber arm or something.
Or like repairing their spine or that kind of thing. Or let me see if I'm going to look further, see if we can find some other examples real quick.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's in the trauma rules.
Yeah.
Even in the descriptions on 141, it's not really entirely clear.
Yeah, why don't you do your thing? I'll look for it real quick. Let's see. Oh, interestingly, there's a human shield rule in this. You can actually grapple someone and use them as a human shield, potentially.
Wait, I missed that one.
I'm surprised. That's literally Knock Knock's go-to. So
you have to be able to grab them first, and then it makes everything more complicated after that.
Yeah, grab and then potentially.
Rules, but it's still complicated. Okay, so there is on the critical injuries test, there is, things that can be done by first aid and things that can be done by paramedic.
Gotcha. And then surgery, for the higher level stuff.
Yeah, I expect the main difference is how long it takes and what gear you need.
That too. In addition to just a skill, yeah. And of course, the only character or only role that can do surgery is the actual bed tech. There is no other role that can do that. So the best you can do is paramedic, which isn't a bad idea.
I'm just thinking I'm probably the one most likely able to benefit by taking it, but it's expensive.
Yeah, definitely. And there are other ways, depending on how we do. All right. Any other questions I can look up for you guys? Excellent.
All right, all done.
Damn, Knick-Knack. Damn, Knock-Knock. You're fast.
The skills, these are perfect. I found exactly what he needs.
So, help me so I don't have to go jump back and forth. Athletics, the related is
Dexterity.
Dex.
Yep.
And brawling, the related is
Dex.
Also Dex. Okay.
Yep, also Dex.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they included that on the tables, but no.
Yeah.
That would be
What's
pretty cool.
concentration?
It's actually funny, Scott, because the way you were saying doing the skills, that's exactly what I was doing the entire time. I was like, okay, I want that one. Don't need that. That's garbage. Let me replace that.
What's concentration?
Oh, good question. Let's see here.
Concentration.
And just remember, anything that's based on empathy, your empathy will go down with cybernetics later.
Right. Let's see. Concentration.
Willpower skill.
Oh, interesting.
Concentration is willpower?
Yes.
How about conversation?
Empathy?
Yep, empathy.
How about education?
How about what? Oh,
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Because there were two skills specifically that Knock needed. Contortionist and Conceal Reveal.
Cool. We'll find out what he's contorting to conceal and reveal in episode 1. No spoilers, please. And again, in some ways, most ways actually, I think your skills more inform your stats than vice versa. So it would almost be a benefit in character creation for skills to have been first, and then kind of go from there. Like, oh wow, I have like a whole bunch of dexterity skills, and I did not see that coming, but I never thought to put a bunch into dex, so I'm gonna have to change it up.
Yeah,
that type of thing. So,
but also, I would think that like given the 3 methods and 2 of them are highly templated, that it would still work given the ranges that they gave you, right?
Yeah, I have no doubt. Again, I just think that for me, I'm generally not a template guy in the sense that I want to make a character my own, and the template just isn't as efficient as it may be. It just doesn't generally cut it for me. So I just assume the same for you all.
Is local expert supposed to also cover your language in that?
No, that's a separate free level 4 skill.
So your native language you get for 4 points, which is
for free
compared to the 86.
Right.
But then every other language is its own separate skill, which you'd be familiar with if you played 3.5 D&D. And that includes all other languages, including street slang.
And when they say local expert, then when it says your home, is that basically like the city that we're currently in?
Yeah.
Or
I think the portion of the city.
Yeah,
maybe?
like a district, like
combat zone.
Yeah, the combat zone would be more, for Arizona.
So mine was the Star Scraper.
Well, wherever you're living now, that's not true. It would be wherever you do have your expertise. So yours might be in that skyscraper district or Star Scraper district or whatever,
which I don't really go back to anymore. But that's okay.
It's a district. It's not just that necessarily. I can see that being useful, certainly.
Yeah. Skill of knowing a specific area well and knowing the agenda of its various factions, both political and criminal. Choose a specific location every time you take this skill, and the location cannot be larger than a single neighborhood or community. So it's actually pretty narrow.
I suppose. That makes sense. I suppose that makes sense.
So specifically,
yeah. So it'd be you could do that star scraper would be that. I think that seems along those right lines. Or maybe wherever your network is headquartered out of in the area, that kind of thing. Maybe the business itself is your area of expertise. That type of thing, and then you can use that skill to kind of uncover the politics going on at the network and stuff like that, or whatever. Well, that does. Thank you, Mick. That does clarifies it quite a bit.
These skills are a great fit. I'm really glad I'm taking this class.
Nice.
Yeah, or this role.
All right. Any other questions or anything I can look up for you guys as you're doing your thing?
Just curious how you use composition.
That's the skill of being a good writer.
Yes, but I mean, like, where would it really come into play in the game?
Well, for you, it would be your reports.
A report.
Yeah.
It would be really, did you write it well before you just decided to?
It's like, are you well spoken as you give your editorials, or do you sound like a moron? Are you kind of getting the buzzwords right in the right places?
Understand. What I'm asking is, like, what is the type of challenge that arrives, or the result that can come out of a good composition? Like, is it like affect my credibility? Or...
I would say like I would have you roll that, for example, if you're under the gun with your superiors and like, we need a good story. We need it. We need stuff. We need that. And then you're doing your thing, and then roll your composition. Let's see how well you put it off when you're on camera. Or it might be, when you're trying to get specific information out of, hey, and we just did a recovery here, and guess what? We got a clue leading to the second place, and anyone who knows, let me know. We're gonna pitch in the spot. La la la. That would definitely, I would call that a composition roll. To kind of see how well your patter with no like, again, this is like with no like immediate audience type of thing. Just like it's as if you were writing a newspaper article for all intents and purposes. You're speaking to a camera, or you are the camera, one of the two, and you have no immediate audience that can react to you. They're just taking in your information, how they take it. So I would definitely consider that kind of thing a composition role. So that could be important. Certainly.
Cool.
There are a number of skills that are more flavor skills and are not likely to come up much. But, it's good to have flavor skills too. Like, how often are you going to end up using library search?
All the time.
Right?
It's a database search, right?
Right.
So.
Totally. Yes. Yeah. Using databases, data pools. Yeah. Actually, quite a lot, I would bet, in this game. At least for Hugh's character.
Yeah.
And maybe Arizona's too.
I can definitely see, like, where the media role applies these skills. That I get. It's just more like when it comes to the world of Cyberpunk or the rules of the game, like, just curious how what kind of recommendations they suggest for typical things that happen, or typical challenges that happen to those skills. So.
Yeah, I think what the book is lacking a lot in example things. Maybe it's farther in the book that it gets in a bunch of those, but I'm generally very much an example guy when I'm looking at my role-playing games. It's like, okay, I don't quite get what you're talking about. So now show me in like real life how this rule is working. It's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
But of course, the worst part is when they do those and then they get their own rules wrong. It's like, oh, you screwed it up yourself. It was your rule and you screwed it up in the instructions in this example, and it doesn't work, and I hate you.
That never happens, Scott.
That never happens. It does.
Okay. So there's some basic examples of skill use for composition, at least on 134.
Okay, cool. Let me look at that. 134. Yeah, I'm just in general, like how
how useful is this? How often am I going to roll this?
Yeah, when it comes to things like guns and martial arts and cybernetics and it's all pretty relevant and easy to understand. Like, well, this is how this fits in because we've seen enough movies that have that kind of thing. But when it comes to like film and composition and like what is the twist? What is the flavor that is specific to Cyberpunk? So
I'm getting you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they refer to a base, that would be essentially like your base bonus. So your skill plus stat.
Yes.
But yeah, it doesn't necessarily give examples of how it would actually come up in the game, unless it's a very role-play
work. That's kind of what I thought, that composition also would have to do with how much I'm going to get paid. And it says like at a base of 10, you can produce saleable work, and some people even commission you for work. So that makes a lot of sense. Create works of art.
Trying to figure out what to put my combat skills at.
You what?
I'm just trying to figure out what to put my combat skills at.
Yeah, like what kind of fighter you want to be?
No, like how high. I mean, going with the whole, Jones motif, I'm going to go with, probably a pistol and whip. Whip could be a slice and dice.
Nice. Oh, that would be cool. We'll see how much money you have left.
Depending on empathy and money. But the issue is like, I can't be great at both of them. I still got a bunch of tech skills to take.
Right. What in general is the plan for healing? Since none of us, we have skills of healing, but there's not a med tech.
Right. I mean, I took a couple levels of paramedic just because I figured that's probably like not something you can do untrained.
And I have a couple levels of first aid.
Right, and I have decent first aid. My first aid is, I think, base.
Where's that?
It's a minimum 2 for everybody.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the basic. Everybody has to have it at least 2.
Gotcha.
But
but that's gonna work, 50% of the time.
Right.
On the rolls.
Yeah, and like my tech is 5, so I get a 7 plus a D10, which an average of 5. It's probably a 12. Probably not enough to actually really do much more than give you a band-aid and a few aspirin.
Yeah.
Plus, we're using the roll 20 die roller.
Yeah. I mean, my first aid is reliable. My paramedic's going to be hit and miss.
Gotcha.
But yes, we don't have a med tech.
Yeah. So do we buy contracts for support of the heavy stuff?
I think, but we might have to hire someone.
Yeah, maybe I could see you guys hiring a med tech to come with you on occasion.
Yeah. Although it certainly wouldn't be like fancy healing, It's like if you get hurt, the med tech's mostly going to keep you from dying, rather than getting you up and active again.
I'm pretty interested in that. Not dying.
Yeah, just a little bit.
On your goals.
It's almost a goal of mine. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm just going over some other things, getting ready. How are you guys coming on skills? Again, this doesn't have to be 100% done. Just enough where you get a flavor for what you're going to go for some of the other stuff. And that's helpful.
Can we eventually pick up a new skill?
Yes. And you can also chip them potentially, depending on what you're doing. Instant skills via chip type of thing.
Okay.
Let's see here.
What's the difference between? Maybe I wrote this wrong. Human perception and perception.
Versus spot versus sense motive.
Yeah.
Say that again.
So human perception is like sense motive, read person type stuff from, PBTA stuff. Whereas perception is environment.
What did you say? PBTA?
Powered by the Apocalypse.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, perception is seeing things like street signs, license plates, the guy in the shadows. Human perception is this bastard lying to me?
Gotcha.
And the answer is always yes.
That's
Arizona Smith has seen some shit.
That's the network I work for, so.
Oh, God. All right, so when you're done, we're going to get into buying stuff.
I'm done.
All right, anybody else need any more time, or should we continue on to purchases?
We can continue on. I know I'm not done, but
okay.
A lot of these things end up informing each other. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm going to go with a shoulder gun instead of a handgun. I don't know.
Fair enough.
So.
Yep.
All right. Knock, you ready to go? I think you already said you were a while ago. Okay, cool. Yep. All right, so let's go to page 104 on the PDF. Since you guys are going kind of your complete calculated package, you basically get to spend 50 Eurobucks on everything. So what I would recommend is start off by at least a weapon, a armor, potentially an armor for your body, an armor for your head, and then go straight to your cybernetics, and anything left over is, pick that up from your, pick that up for your fashion and outfit, or depending, or in the case of Knock, maybe spending a little more on the fashion part of the show. But you get the idea.
How much are we getting all together?
2,550 Eurobucks, and that's to buy everything from weapons, armor, fashion, outfit, cybernetics. So again, for purposes of this, I recommend pick a nice weapon, pick an armor for your head, armor for your body, and get some cybernetics, and then use what's left over to get your other stuff. Or again, in the case of Knock, they might prioritize fashion over even cybernetics, for all I know. I don't quite know the character yet. But just kind of keep that in mind, and from 104 on, you see all the lists with costs and stuff like that.
So if you decide to go with one of the templates, that would leave you with exactly 500 bucks left. Which is an easy way to do your shopping, because that's basically, here's a couple of weapons and some armor. So,
there you go.
That's probably what I'm just going to do.
There's also that. Good call. And then once we figure all that out, we'll figure out your lifestyle and housing. But I figure for now, let's buy your stuff. So a lot of cool things. If you'll notice the let's see here, let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah, your weapons are they don't really name them here, so we can always go into the make and model of your heavy pistol or whatever, that kind of thing. So that's just right now. Just it doesn't the craftsman of the weapon or whatever doesn't really matter. But we'll come with that flavor after or in next session or something like that. So just figure out what you want. So it's like if you look at the pistols, and again, I wish I could show everybody the PDF who's watching, but they can't. So with pistols, you're it's a matter of what you want to get and what you want to sacrifice. So for example, medium pistol and heavy pistol are nice. They do 2d6 and 3d6 damage respectively. However, you get the very heavy pistol, which does 4d6. That's 4 chances to roll 2 6s and do it critical. However, it only has it has 8 rounds, whereas the medium pistol has 12. heavy pistol also has 8. But the rate of fire is also important. So check this out. So rate of fire in this game is when in combat, you have 2 things. You have a move action. So you have your move, and then you have your action. Your move is exactly that, moving from here to there, etc. Your action can be anything from using a weapon to doing a thing, using a skill, reloading a pistol, that kind of thing. So the rate of fire is how many attack actions you can do with that action. So whereas the medium pistol, for example, only does 2d6 damage, it can shoot twice. Heavy pistol can shoot once during that turn and get 46. So again, that's kind of a math problem. Where do our where does the math lie on that? But just there's always for each of these there's some kind of give and take. Of course, with like the submachine guns, they have the auto fire, which is a skill unto its own. So kind of keep that in mind. If you don't have any auto fire skill, maybe a submachine gun isn't the weapon for you, because that's where its strength really comes in. And then that's figured in like a burst. Basically, you spend 10 bullets while doing an auto fire, and you roll a bunch of dice for damage if you hit. That type of thing. So kind of keep that in mind when you're choosing. And of course, there's are you going to do it one-handed or two-handed? Do you want the knife in one hand and the pistol in the other? Ran out of bullets here, you can still stab the guy, type of thing.
Well, and you have the option to, if you have, I think either brawling or a melee weapon and a pistol, you can attack with each.
Yes, because they are a rate of fire 2 for each of those, so you can do one of each.
Only a total of 2 attacks, but you can choose what it is.
Right, exactly. And that's only if both weapons you have are a rate of fire 2.
And it talks about being able to, attack, move, and attack.
Right. So your move, where you have your move action, which is it's pretty much any conglomeration. Attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, attack. At the end of your round and that kind of thing. And so this and you can see how that kind of setup, if you have cover to work with, is going to really work in your favor. On your turn, you can go from one cover, move, attack, move to the next cover, potentially, et cetera, that kind of good stuff. So, something to keep in mind when we're talking the mechanics of Cyberpunk Red. So, yeah. Let's see. So that's kind of weapons. So again, it's all math. Figure out and in the end, I think they really are going to even out. Either get the really weak one that can shoot a lot, you get the really heavy one that can't shoot a lot but does more damage for one round. So it's a matter of what you want. Let's see here, for your armor. So you guys aren't going to be doing a lot of corporate parties, so you don't have to worry so much about having like a Kevlar business suit, besides Hugh, of course. But I would recommend, again, the light armor jack is the highest stopping power you can go without taking any negatives to dexterity, reflex, and move. So pretty much, I would recommend all of you get a light armor jacket and a light armor helmet or headwear. We can figure out what that looks like when the time comes. But I would suggest you not go without something on your head, even though there are ways to target specifically the head and really actually blow it the hell off. So something to think about. So yeah, there's that. And let's see, let's go down. And then we have all kinds of just gear. Again, if you have a couple €100 or 500 euro left over, and you can pretty much get all the stuff you would normally have that you'd want for your gear. And this game is very it considers it, whereas you have a home, it's trying to consider you mobile. So like your gear can literally be in a small backpack, basically, is the intent with that.
I mean, don't underestimate, like, clothing and stuff isn't necessarily cheap.
Right. Well, that's true. So yeah, we get to the fashion part of the show. Excuse me.
I said knock knock. I did the wrong fashion for knock knock. Knock knock would totally be Asia pop. Because I was just looking what that is. Costume like bright colors. Yeah, that's knock knock. Yeah.
All right. So you're look how much that can add up to also. So that's where I can see a lot of Knock Knock's cash going to cybernetics, drugs, and Asia pop type of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So again, something to think about. And this is a game. Remember, it's not enough to do something well. You have to look awesome doing it. If you aren't looking cool doing it, you're doing it wrong. If you screw up and you look good doing it, you can still recover from that. That's still quite acceptable. Screwing up and looking like an amateur doing it, then you're not Cyberpunk, you know. So
okay, so that would be 1, 2.
Where is
perfect? I got just enough to do everything I want.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the armor?
Let's see. So the armor
page is the
90,
armor is
97.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So I could see Hugh with maybe a set of Kevlar, a Kevlar business suit that looks kind of like what he's describing, and then maybe maybe an light armor jack when he's doing field work or something like that, or really deep in the field, shall we say?
And I noticed it said something about like there were 2 entries on the template for like head versus body. Do you have to get?
Yes. Yeah, like I was saying, you want to get a head armor and a body armor.
Gotcha.
I think there's only one
listing
types that are both.
Yeah, well, all the listings, it's the same price and same stats, but there's a headpiece and a body piece.
Right,
Gotcha.
Yes. So you buy those separately. But like for the Metal Gear, I think that might be all inclusive. I don't know. Actually, I suppose it doesn't actually say. Yeah, so it must be the same. So you have to buy the suit and the head armor separately. But yeah, it doesn't specifically list the head armor, but yeah.
Got it.
And then, of course, cyberware. My favorite part.
Yeah, you still need to get a separate head and body part for Metal Gear.
Yeah. So it's just the same rule for all of them.
Yeah. The only thing where you don't get a separate head and body is if you buy a riot shield.
Which is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. Are you guys already looking at cyberware too, or are you kind of doing the hardware first?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I have money for.
Knock Knock just did fashion wear. He just did a bunch of fashion wear, cyberware.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
You're gonna move your way up to the getting chipped in. I get you.
Yes.
So for Hugh, for example, when you do get to cyberware, I can totally see like a cyber eye and cyber ear implant with camera built in and recording stuff and et cetera, et cetera.
Like shoulder-mounted camera.
Or that, yeah. Or if you want to do it non-cyber wise, yeah, the actual piece of hardware.
All fashion wear, huh? I was kind of afraid that Knock Knock would go for the Cyber Snake.
Oh god,
no.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody. We might have to cross that off. It doesn't exist in this Cyberpunk.
Mr. Stud.
No.
Or whatever that's called.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
That's on the table, and Midnight Lady.
Yeah, that's a fade to black. Which reminds me, we do need to cover, I do want to go over Lines and Veils before session 1, and I'll probably have you guys just put it on the record during session 1 or episode 1 what your Lines and Veils are. And having done stuff with me, you know, of course we use those plus the X card.
Have you seen Gauntlet sheet for that. I can send you a copy.
Oh, which?
Gauntlet games.
Gauntlet online role-playing community has their own Lines and Veils worksheet.
Yeah, they have a nice worksheet that's put together that, people can just fill out, either anonymously or not, and, kind of lists a whole bunch of things that are possible.
Oh, yeah, I used that during my...
ordering a sub sandwich at a deli.
Yeah, I did see that for my Urban Shadow 2nd Edition run for Magpie that I did last Saturday. But would you guys feel comfortable just doing it on stream just so people can hear it, that kind of thing? Or we can keep it private if you're not comfortable with that?
Yeah, if somebody can share that link somewhere, I'd love to get one of those.
Sure.
Awesome. Yeah, put it in our Cyberpunk Red chat, please. But cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure again we're safe and you're comfortable. And again, I want to traumatize the characters, not the players, if I can avoid it. So I'll use the safety tools that I can to make that happen.
Oh, I guess I could put...
All right, there we go. All done.
Damn, Knock Knock, you're efficient.
Well, so you want to know what cyberware Knock Knock went with?
I would love to.
Wear? Okay, so Knock Knock has glorious tech hair. It's color light emitting artificial hair.
Ooh, nice.
He has EMP threading, so he's got thin silver lines that run all like a circuit board all across his body. He also they also have Kim skin, so their color of their hues always changing, and then the shift tax, color changing lenses implanted into the eye.
Ooh, as you do.
And that's Knock Knock's fashion wear. And then of course wearing their glorious, very, very, very bright neon colored clothing.
Very cool. Yeah. I don't think that ninja is in Knock Knock's repertoire of hunting techniques.
No.
They will see Knock Knock coming. And scream. And also, just so you guys know, and kind of Knock Knock mentioned it before, getting known to be the baddest ass out there. So there's a thing in this game, a mechanic called the face off, where you basically roll your rep for what you're known for against another person and see who backs down. If you lose, you basically take negatives to face the person until you beat them. So the smartest thing is just to back the hell down and go about your day, type of thing. So that's the thing. Again, this is a game where status matters, where what people think of you, how you dress, how you succeed, how cool you are actually matters and applies mechanically. So very important and I think generally unique to the cyberpunk world, where that's such a thing. Yeah, and I was glad to see that they changed some of the cyberware around. For example, the Krenzikov and Sendevistan reflex boosters, if I recall correctly, they were just deadly. They actually added to your reflex, so to your roll, to like hit because you were so freaking fast. Or they gave you, I think one of them gave you extra rounds of action. So it was like if you didn't have those, you might as well not even fight someone who does, because you will lose. But they've changed them to basically initiative modifiers. If they're active, you get +2 or +3 to your initiative, which is cool, but it's by no means a I win button type of thing, or I can't compete against that. The Sandevistan you do have to activate, but the Kreznikov are on all the time. And because you have to activate it, and it has like an hour cooldown, the Sandevistan is +3 as opposed to +2. But yeah, I like how they took away the I win button in terms of those two pieces of cyberware and made them just initiative modifiers.
I like making the solo a little bit more flexible too. True. And yeah. And like what Mike Pondsmith and everything he's ever talked about, the original game is like everybody has a reflex of 10.
Because when you were rolling your stats and stuff, and everybody did because you had to, you were behind the power curve. You didn't have a 10 reflex because that's how you shot guns, and that's pretty much what you did in Cyberpunk to a greater extent. So I'm glad they made the more all rolls are worthwhile. Let's see. Yeah, let's find the listing. I want to find the listing for the Cyber Snake because it's just horrible.
Oh, no, I've actually been looking at the Cyber Snake, and yeah, that's going to be Knock Knock's first cyberware that's getting
Jesus,
installed.
nobody needs that. All right, let me.
Yes, we do.
What page is that on?
It's probably considered the ugliest.
No, it is on page 114.
114.
Yeah, that's going to be Knock Knock's first cyberware.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Mr. Midnight Lady and then Mr. Stud.
Esophagus mounted very heavy melee weapon can be concealed. Oh yes. My god.
So Knock Knock needs this in their life.
That's
I kind of imagine it as like when you eat, it would actually have to like go through Cyber Snake in order to go into your stomach because it's like it would take up that much room.
It's almost like a mechanical internal human centipede type of situation is what he was trying to say. Which let's take that to our nightmares tonight, shall we? Okay, who didn't watch the movies, by the way? No.
Which movies?
The Human Centipede or any of its 3 or so sequels.
Tolerance for body horror.
Jason watched but did not like?
Oh, I did not watch.
Okay.
I know all about it. And I unfortunately saw the South Park episode for it.
Oh,
that's
actually
worse.
A funny one. I've seen worse.
Sadly, I've seen such movies like a Serbian film, Necromantic 1 and 2, Cannibal Holocaust.
That sounds...
Yeah. I went to a special effects school, man. That's what people watch, those damn banned horror movies, and each time I'd walk in the room, oh, that's traumatizing.
Yeah, like literally, you're going to have to talk to somebody about that or not sleep well ever again.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's not go into the specifics of that if you don't mind, please. I don't want to traumatize myself, my players, or my audience, if you please. But yes, we get the picture. It's not right. Capital N, capital R, not right. Cool. So I can imagine the Cyber Snake being very interesting. What's the range on that? I gotta look that up.
It's a melee weapon.
It's an actual melee ranged melee weapon, or
it says it counts as a very heavy melee weapon.
Oh,
yeah, I mean even like the monofilament whip, even though it's like 2 meters, is still just a melee weapon.
Interesting. Okay.
But have ranges for melee weapons,
right? It's just a thing. I'm just trying to figure does a Cyber Snake go? Is it like a meter and a half long? Is it like you kiss somebody and then rotor-root them range? Or is it like it actually comes out and you're gnawing on something? Nom, 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 nom.
Just think of it like Alien, only...
reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Wow, again, nightmare fuel. We're on board for that.
I was reading something about it, and it still includes the infamous Cyber Snake. So,
well, that's weird because something like the monofilament whip used to be, or maybe I'm thinking Shadowrun used to be a much more dangerous weapon.
I think it was.
Now it's like a 2d6. There's no armor piercing anything anywhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a Cyberpunk thing where it was like armor piercing and stuff like that. I think it was more dangerous to you in Shadowrun. That was that mechanic. But in Cyberpunk, I believe it was like...
fail.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, is it worth taking because it's only like a 2d6 weapon, that's not going to get through anyone's armor, if they have like an 11 armor.
It can still do critical hits, potentially.
Right, but that's, however many % of the time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and that's a really smart thing to think of. Again, I hate to bring mechanics into the role play so much, but this is a game where you absolutely have to look at this kind of thing.
Take a regular whip, and do the same amount of damage, and still have the cool factor, for the indie persona.
Sure.
Whereas maybe with the arm I could more focus on like the grapple hand for line swinging hijinks.
Please do those more.
I am seriously considering getting the grappling hook hand.
I changed my mind. Knock Knock wants the esophagus. He's going for it.
Oh my god!
I'm going for it. I must have it. I changed my mind.
You could be less disgustingly horrible and just get the rippers.
Why would he want to do that?
But
have you met Brian?
It's the snake, and I must have this, and I love it.
Okay, it works for me.
So this
it's going to make me take a hit of 2 empathy. So I'm down to 2.
It is an empathy killer, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And in fact, I've noticed that a lot of these there's not a lot to go around.
I mean, 2d6 is 2d6. I mean,
yeah.
So the only thing a tech can do, because I have the ability to make upgrades to things like cyberware, and I can reduce something from a 3d6 down to a 2d6. Or I can reduce like 1d6 level, but only if it's starting high.
Right. So you can
2d6 to 1. Right. Always like from 4 to 3 or 3 to 2.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's another thing I noticed. Is this game is not. This is not where you have everything replaced and are still sane and in the game. You really have to kind of know what you're doing, and I think that's one of the reasons they have like rules for rehab. Like, let's say you had a cyber arm, you want to get rid of it, you can now get a growth one and kind of get some trauma therapy for it and bring your empathy back up, only to bring it back down to the other thing you want, but that kind of thing. But those rules are included in this game. Like coming back from the borderline of cyberpsychosis type of stuff. So yeah, but I remember in the other Cyberpunk games you could get pretty much whatever you wanted, and as long as you had a decent empathy, you really didn't have to worry too much about, falling into the cyber psycho range. But this is definitely, nobody can really walk around with everything. You've got to pick and choose what, your build, if you will, and stick with it, or get just a little bit of everything if you're going to go cyberware, that type of stuff. So. And I can only imagine there's going to be a bunch of Chromebooks that come out for this game specifically, even though they are talking about converting rules for converting Cyberpunk 2020 to Cyberpunk Red. So we already have I think I still have them sitting here. There's like 5 Chromebooks of magazines worth of cyberware weapons and armor and stuff. Right, yeah. But all really cool books, by the way. Even if you just get them for the art, I highly recommend getting the Chromebooks. They're amazing. Don't you start with me, Steve? Don't you start with me second guessing my. All right. How's everybody looking?
Slowly but surely.
Okay.
I have made my adjustments and I am happy.
All right. Cool.
I'm glad I have a spreadsheet.
Oh, yeah. I should have started there.
And again, what we don't finish today, we literally have like 15 minutes left of this session. So what we don't finish today, just finish the next couple of weeks. You have time. And then we can, on the Discord, we can kind of hammer out, are you lacking anything? I'll be looking at all your sheets to say, hey, by the way, are you sure you don't want maybe this?
I'll put it in the sheet.
And that kind of thing. And then... go over stuff.
Gamers are kind of the Lisa Simpsons of the world, and nobody else looks forward to doing homework more than us.
Yeah, that's a really strangely good point. I hadn't thought of that before, but yeah. It's like, I need to get this book.
This is very true.
I need to hit the books tonight. It's like, what?
I need to get this done.
Are you serious? Yeah, no, that is like a revelation, actually, Aaron. Thank you. Because, yeah, that's like, yeah.
It was nothing.
I gotta hit the books, man. I gotta learn this. I gotta memorize this. I have to know it backwards and forwards. If I could have been graded on this, I'd have gotten an A. At least for effort. You know? So yeah, good, very good observation.
Yeah, the word spreadsheet stopped me dead in my tracks. I'm like, I am not typing another thing into this thing. I'm converting right after this.
Funny. Awesome. So let's see. Since we're kind of we're this is definitely a to be continued thing anyway for into the Discord with a lot of this stuff. Let's see if we're missing anything extra here. We already looked at the cyberware.
When we do our humanity loss, then should we roll that with you or just take the points?
So
you take a fixed number when you're doing a starting character.
Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, in play you'll be rolling the dice.
Yeah, and the number is always an exactly average roll. So.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
But yeah, anything you get later is always rolled for. Because of course it is.
Yeah. There's a doctor. What's the chances of this going right? Well, let me roll here.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
This isn't going to go well for you. Yeah.
This is not going to go well.
We'll see you on the other side.
Funny. I just want to point out, I'm not sure if you guys are on the, if you're also watching Twitch when we're doing this, but if you look in chat, you'll notice Dr. Arculari has a little diamond in front of his name. That represents his VIP status. Because I earned over the Extra Life campaign when I made affiliate, and I also unlocked the ability to give out VIP status, which it's just a cool little thing. And I just want to note that Dr. Arculari he's watched it's got to be 75% of all my streams, so he's the one and only VIP presently, and he's totally earned it, and I appreciate him, and that's that. Kind of a cool little thing.
Does it tell you our stats like that?
Or
do you just have to kind of pay attention to, like, does it say he has watched X number of streams?
No, I'm just well aware of his presence in all of my streams and stuff like that. No, but I to answer your question, I as a streamer I'm unable to track your viewing stats of me or anybody else. But he's just always popping up and saying hi and asking questions and stuff. So he's just been here all the time. And I also I put in place channel points. As you watch the channel, you earn channel points, which I've called plot points. Since we're so role playing heavy on this channel, and you can buy different things. Like for 3,000 points, you can name a character, a location, or a thing. Type of thing. You can make me drink water, fun stuff like that. So when next time you look at the stream or you look at anybody's stream, kind of look at those and what the options are. It's kind of cool. This little interactivity thing with viewers type of thing. All right. So we got about 10 minutes left. Do you guys want to, let's put aside the character sheets for now. Again, obviously we're going to continue this on in Discord and whatnot, and we'll be ready to go in a couple weeks for session 1 or episode 1 rather. Questions for you guys. So why are you interested in Cyberpunk Red? Like, why did you guys specifically jump in at this one? Out of curiosity.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve.
You're a 2020 player back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean like 20 or 30 years ago. And, still have, most of the books, in a paper box, that I dig out on occasion. Recently was playing Interface 0, tried Shadowrun, didn't like it. So trying this is, seeing what they've done with the system. Obviously they've simplified a lot of things. Added a few different things like the roles and, the role abilities. So just interested to see how it plays.
Awesome. How about Aaron? What about you?
Yeah, I was definitely influenced by the one shot that we did with the sprawl. I really had a good time with that, and I always liked the idea of playing a fixer. I like the fixer type role. However, when I saw media, then I was like, that's a really interesting, good challenge. I really want to try that.
Nice.
And I've always wanted to play Cyberpunk. Nobody ever wanted to run it in my area, so just never had the chance. But so it's opportunity, and I'm starting to miss, or I have missed the long session games that we've done in the past. I think that was another effect of like doing the one shot. I was like, wow, I really didn't want to put that character away after just one shot like that. So it's also the opportunity to like build another character.
That's pretty cool. And I just want to point out, you may not have played Cyberpunk, but you did play Cyber Generations, which was like there was a crappy offshoot of it involving kids with special powers. We played in your basement. One of your friends ran it many moons ago.
Really?
In the 90s.
I admit I might know that.
Cyber Generations.
Cyber Generations. Yeah, look that up. So you kind of did, but you didn't. All right. How about Jason? What about you?
We do not talk about the noodle incident.
The noodle incident.
I've always been into Cyberpunk. I kind of got in ground level when Neuromancer was still, a new book. And everything was still, new enough. And all of that, bit of Cyberpunk, a lot of Shadowrun, and all of that. And, we just wrapped up our Monster Week, and it's like, hey, how about Cyberpunk? And I'm like, okay, Scott.
Let's see what you got.
Come on, let's make Scott cry.
I won't, ugly cry on stream ever. I'll just blot that out or something. But yeah, it's good. I'm glad you came back for yet another round of gaming with me. I appreciate that. All right, last but not least, Brian, what made you join this campaign? What is your pull?
Oh, I just love Cyberpunk in general. When Jason mentioned Neuromancer, it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty much what drew me in. That and the book, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Oh yeah, the guy was creative on Babylon 5. His name is
Straczynski?
No,
Philip K. Dick wrote that one, right? Or
no. I have the book in my bookshelf.
I know the name.
We have one of my boxes.
But and then
Harlan Ellison.
Harlan Ellison.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. And then
Google.
And then in general, Cyberpunk, it just really lends to where, because I'm a huge D&D boy, D&D 5e all the time. That's where all my time goes outside of here. But Cyberpunk is just like that, where I can lend myself to just doing some really RP heavy, and of course my zany characters.
And they fit. This Cyberpunk is where those characters come alive and make all the sense in the world. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And like I said, I played Cyberpunk since the very first edition was like what? Yeah, like it took place in 2013 back in the day. But I did a whole talk show on that. So if anyone's looking, go to my YouTube and look up talk shows, and you'll see my talk show where I talk all about Cyberpunk and cover all that stuff. But I've been a fan since way back. I had to get Cyberpunk Red. This definitely takes me out of the comfort zone that I've found myself in. I'm playing a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse. Again, I'm going to have to actually roll dice, create, stat up NPCs. I'm going to have to use a map. I can't get this game. You just can't get around using a map and, tokens or miniatures, etc. So it's good to get out of your comfort zone every now and then.
You're going to have to prepare plot.
Oh my God, that's horrible. No, I mean, that'll be the easy part. I keep doing that. But yeah, so, and you guys, one thing I do like about another thing I like about the character generation is, you're going through the life path, which is cool for you to kind of harden up your character, firm up your character. But as a game master, it also gives me the ability to do plot hooks and, see where I can push your buttons and pull you in different directions, or what you're soft to. Am I going to steal Knock Knock's turtle? And who will have to pay for that? Exactly. So that kind of thing. So yeah, this is definitely not a game I'm comfortable with in the sense of the way I've been gaming for quite some time now, but it's a good thing, and I'm happy to come back to Cyberpunk to give this a go for a campaign. So, I'm happy to play with you guys. This is a nice group. We have a nice balance, I think, we have the zany Brian, we have the very emotive Jason, we have, Aaron, who's trying to get in touch with his media roots, figure out how he can turn this into the next big show. And we got Steve. Steve has always just been kind of like my, I want to say like a jack of all trades role player. So he gets all over the place. So yeah, this is another nice group we put together. So I'm very happy to be running you guys. And again, as much as I hate to say it, keep a secondary character idea ready, because characters can and will die in Cyberpunk Red, and it's nearly an inevitability. So kind of keep that tucked away there with a second character ready to bring into the reclamation crew. But on that note, we're hitting our time, so why don't we say goodbye to the players again? Stars of the show are above me; they're the players. Starting over here with Aaron. And then Steve. Both very happy to be here. On the verge of falling asleep, but that's okay. We're good. We'll get you some caffeine next time. We got Jason. More alive, somewhat. And then we got Brian.
Bye, everyone.
Brian's always hyped up on something. It's all right. So, and of course, I'm Scott Case Files. If you're watching my channel on Twitch right now, hit the About tab and you'll see all my social media stuff. If you're watching me on YouTube, you'll see it there. If you're watching me on Twitch, feel free to follow me, and I'm now an affiliate, so you can subscribe if you really want to do. And on YouTube, follow me there, or subscribe, I think is the term there. But do that and see more of this, because this is going to be a really cool campaign. I'm looking forward to it. We are taking our break next week for Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. Not that Canadian Thanksgiving crap. It takes place in October, apparently. But real Thanksgiving. Yeah. And
yeah, when everybody has dinner at 2:00 for some reason.
Hey, you got to get the nap time slotted in at just the right. I'll explain to you one time. It's later. But anyway, so thank you for joining us. You're all awesome. I hope everybody has a good week, good Thanksgiving. All that good things happen to you. You do good things for other people. So go forth and do no harm, and we will see you again very soon. So bye for now.
Okay. Bye.